Welcome to today's lunchtime seminar fourth webinar, rotating around 4 types: RAP Basics, Innovation National Program Spotlight, National Programs Forum. Today, this one is National Programs Forum, a bit like the old days at General Assembly, where we hear about everyone's great work and can be inspired to adapt new ideas into our programs. We have 8 presentations today, so we should make this introduction very short and ask our presenters to be quite short. We will try and bring in a couple of questions where we have time. Please submit the questions using the questions and answers box. And if we can't raise them, we will make sure they are answered during or following the webinar. Today, we also have with us Susie, Chairman. She is going to kind of co-host with me this session, but she's also going to present a couple of nice cases from all over the Europe. Susie, do you want to say hi?
Hi, yes, thanks, Ollie, and thanks everybody for your time today, and thank you to the panelists for your inputs. Lucia, do we have audio yet? Do you want to try your audio?
Oh, I can hear. Can you hear me now?
Yes, we can hear you now. Excellent. Okay. The technical challenges are now overcome, so we can progress happily. Back to you, Ollie, if that's okay.
Yeah, thank you very much. So let's start quickly with our presenters. We have Cristian Baragi from RACC Catalonia. He will speak about the program in Catalonia and all the great things that they are doing lately. Cristian, over to you.
Thank you, Ollie. Good morning, everybody. I will share my screen. I have prepared a short presentation. I'll try to keep tight to the time, only 5 minutes. If I'm too quickly, I can move back later. This is my screen. I hope you can see it. Everybody can see it. I would like to share the experience of 20 years of EuroRAP in Catalonia, which is the region of Barcelona. This is experience, let's say, a table with 4 legs. You see here four logos: RACC, which is the mobility club I talking on behalf of, the traffic authority, Servei Català de Trànsit, and 2 road authorities, Diputació Barcelona, which is local roads, and Generalitat de Catalunya, regional government, which is one of the main road authority. This is us, the day we presented our 20th edition of our risk rating annual report. The road authorities are on the right-hand side of the table. In the middle, my president, and close to him, between my president and me, the traffic authority. That was in late December. This is the expected risk rating map, the one that we drafted with the data coming from 2018, 19, and 20, so the last period under analysis. The top 10 risky sections are shown in the map, on the map. We also provide with a specific information about motorbike accidents, because we have a problem with motorbike accidents. These are the sections where there is more density of accidents on motorbike, and you can see here Barcelona. We make also a focus on trucks, on heavy-duty vehicles. We used to have problems with trucks. This is not really the case nowadays, but we still keep an eye put on them in this, the corresponding map. And these are the 2 main slides I would like to share with you. The experience, what's the balance, which lessons have we learned during these first 20 years. You can see here the evolution of accidents with fatalities and serious injuries, sorry, which is in blue on the charts, and it has decreased up to 72%, even though mobility has, at the end of the day, maintained almost stable, a difference plus 3.6, not much, and that means that the overall risk index all along these 20 years has decreased from 73.2 to 19.6. That means a decrease of 73%. And there's a slight difference by sort of road. There's a difference if we are talking about split roads, highways or motorways. We have here a complicated classification of our network, and we talk about highways and motorways as if they were different things, even though for you, most of you will think they are the same. And there's a difference between them, these split roads and conventional roads. In the last 15 years, since we have not 20, but 15 years, since we incorporated this detailed analysis on split road and conventional roads in our report, the difference, the cliff on the Catalan road network has been reduced by around 60% in both charts, both in split roads and on conventional roads. But the risk of a serious or fatal accident on a conventional road is still 4 times higher than on a split road. That's something we have learned, we have been monitoring, and we will be working for the following years, because as it was a birthday, a 20th anniversary, and every birthday deserves a cake. We celebrated with an anniversary cake. These are the 5 people you have seen in the first photo, but without mask. We were on open air, and we hope to celebrate for many more years this kind of presentation, both the 4 legs of the same table, the Mobility Club, the Traffic Authority, and the road authorities. And that was all from my side. I hope to be short enough, and I give the floor to Olive back.
Thank you, Christian. Perfectly on time. I think you can hear me now. Sorry, I was unmuted. Very excellent presentation. I would give the floor without further delay to Stelios Evstathiadis from Transportation Solution to talk us about the project in Cyprus. Stelios, would you like us to share your screen, your presentation, or you would like to do it yourself?
No, you have my presentation.
Okay, yeah, then Susie will share it. I guess it's coming.
So, hello everybody.
Thank you for being here and listening to our news. This is my presentation for Cyprus, which is the first year of a national program for EuroRAP. At the next slide, you'll see the main stakeholders. The beneficiary is the Ministry of Transport, the Communication and Works, and more precisely, the Public Works Department. Through a project that was funded by EIB, we have some main results that we are going to present you. The national scheme is led by the Road Safety Institute Panos Milonas, which is based in Greece and has also an office and subsidiary in Cyprus. Transportation Solutions is the technical lead, and the Cyprus Automobile Association is the communication lead for the EuroRAP program. Next slide, you'll see our achievements through the past year. We had a pilot project and a pilot IRAP assessment for 100 kilometers of existing roads. Somebody might say that, okay, 100 kilometers is too little, but you have to understand that Cyprus is a small country, and we are talking about the 16% of the primary road network. So we have already completed 16% of the road network that it is going to be part of the new directive of the European Commission 2019-1936. And we have in these maps, we are showing the crash risk mapping for crash density, also for crash rate, and we have the star rating and SRIP for these 100 kilometers. At next slide, we have already We have also applied the star rating for designs protocol for, again, a pilot of 50 kilometers that the Public Works Department had the detailed designs, and they were ready to construct, and we assessed them. I have to note that and the pilot study of existing roads and also the designed roads is a sample of dual and single carriageway roads. So we have a complete picture of the total network. We have samples from urban, from rural, from motorways, from dual carriageways. So we have a very clear picture of the situation in Cyprus. Next slide. Also we had capacity building for all EuroRAP protocols for accredited road safety auditors of Cyprus, and this took place in Nicosia a few months ago. The Public Works Department is satisfied with our results, and in next slide you'll see what are the results and expectations of the national program and the project that it is ongoing. First of all, Cyprus, as a member state of European Union, is planning to implement the latest directive and is awaiting for the results of the project that is ongoing from National Technical University of Athens, FPZ, and Friend Engineering in order to have the guidelines for the network assessment. Apart from that, we have a big event that we are planning to have in Cyprus, presenting the results of EuroRAP, the results of EuroRAP, the results of the project ongoing, along with main stakeholders from the minister, etc. Due to the COVID situation, this was delayed a little bit, and now it is planned for the 10th of March. And I guess that we will send to all of you invitations, since this event is going to take place in both physical and electronic participation, so it is easy for anyone to participate. The SRIP results from the pilot study are already planned to be implemented. We have a project pipeline for financing all of the countermeasures that we found, and now the beneficiaries looking for financial aid in order to implement all this. I guess that the first year of the national EuroRAP program in Cyprus may be said that it is satisfactory for the completion, and we are looking forward for next year to implement more and more. Thank you very much.
Stelios, that was really wonderful, and thank you also to Christian. I think one of the things that we've heard through both of your presentations is the importance of working with the National Road Authority and the possibility, therefore, of taking forward things into actual programs where road infrastructure is upgraded. Do you have any comments on that, Stelios or Christian, in your experience?
If I may, sorry, Christian, if I may, I would say that this is the only way if you find people that they are interested in this kind of work from the either ministry or road authority. It is very important. Otherwise, it is just an exercise that it is stayed in some desk without any continuation. If I may say that the Public Works Department departments, and the people there are very keen in road safety issues. They are participating in all European fora, and they are very satisfied with the EuroRAP protocols, and also within the project that we have completed, we have already created terms of reference for the EuroRAP implementation for the whole road network of Cyprus.
Wow, that's
I do absolutely agree with Stelio, so I won't add anything. Our case is very, very similar to the situation that he has described for Cyprus, and it's absolutely crucial to work together. You need 4 legs to make a table stable, so everyone is absolutely necessary.
Thank you, Christian. Thank you, Stelios. That's super. I think we're moving on now to Italy. Do we have all of the slides that we need, Lucia, in your set that you sent to me?
Yes, Susie,
Excellent.
would you like to share? But I don't know if Edoardo Mazzia is...
yes, finally, I mean.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, Edoardo, you're here.
Bear with me, I'm just finding the right...
Well, fine.
There we go, should be shared. Thanks so much.
Okay, next, please. This is just the... Okay. So following the road inspections program on the TEN network initiated by the ministry in July 2019, ACI decided to relaunch a project according to EuroRAP methodologies. And so this project was approved and funded completely by ACI itself. And the step of the project, as you know, are to produce a density and risk map, and then to choose the roads to be inspected, and then inspections, and sharing the results with the road managers. Can you go ahead? Next. Okay. And due to the pandemic, we decided to remain, after having produced the density map and risk map on about 70,000 kilometers of main roads in Italy. That is the road usually selected for the network, usually selected for EuroRAP. We decided to remain in the Lazio region. That means nearby Rome, where we are based, because it could have been difficult to move in Italy due to the pandemic. In this map, you can see the density map, and in the next, the risk map of the Lazio network, and also the roads that have been selected for inspections, that are a link of the motorway A1 for 67 kilometers, 108 kilometers of the Via Salaria, that is a national road going from Rome to the east of Italy, on the other side of the peninsula, and a link of National Road 148 Via Pontina that goes in the south, from Rome to the south, for a total of 209 kilometers that, taking into account double carriageways, becomes 322 kilometers of inspections. And the inspections have been done by Fredeng that is accredited by EuroRAP and EuroRAP. And so now I give the floor to Edoardo, who will continue and tell you what the inspections, what is the results of the inspections.
Thank you, Lucia. Next slide, please. Yes, actually, the surveys were carried out during the end of the last summer, and all the supporting data were provided by the road authorities, so that they were very supporting. And then, so that means from ANAS, from the rural roads and the expressways, that is Via Pontina, and from Autostrade per Italia, for data concerning the motorway. The data were processed and encoded using an accredited system, that is the one developed by FPZ from Zagreb. Next. These are the results. So this is the star rating, the current star rating, the baseline. In total, for vehicle occupants, so we have just 37% of the network that is 3 stars or more, and but the situation is worse for motorcyclists, where just the 6% is 3 or more stars. Actually, the situation is pretty good. Let's say is not so bad for the motorway A1 for vehicle occupants, but as you can see, for motorcyclists, the whole length of motorway A1 and Via Pontina are just 1 star. This is mainly because of the speed. Speed on motorways in Italy is speed limit is 130 kilometers per hour. Next. For vulnerable users, so pedestrians and cyclists, we assessed the star rating just for Via Salaria, because for the other 2 road links, these users are not they cannot travel on these roads. So this is the situation of Via Salaria, quite bad in both cases. Next. We developed the Safer Roads investment plans according to the EuroRAP protocols. We provided, I give you just main results very shortly. We provided, we developed different alternative, different scenarios to keep into consideration different countermeasures. So actually for Via Salaria, the first one was the baseline, where we considered all the countermeasures suggested by VIDA, but since some of them are not so feasible in terms of land use, in terms of cost, so we also developed another scenario that we call it light, where just the countermeasures, including routine maintenance on something more complex, but not so complex, like for instance a duplication of the road. And then the third one is a combination of light countermeasures and lower speed, because now the operating speed is in some sections is higher than 90 kilometers per hour. So we considered a scenario where we limit the speed of the vehicles to 80, and of course this is quite helpful. Of course, in the baseline, where we consider all the treatments suggested by VIDA, we have better results, but reducing the speed to 80, we have also in this case good results. And of course, in the cost you see in this slide, we are not considering a cost needed for the enforcement of the speed, of course, but just the cost of the countermeasures. Next.
Sorry, Eduardo, just 1 minute, please, if you can.
Yeah, okay. Next, we can go directly at the end. Okay, so this is just a recap for the motorways, where actually I would like just to add that for Italian motorways, so the situation is quite rigid. I mean, it is not so easy to increase the star rating with countermeasures or with interventions that are rentable. So at the end, we can slightly increase the star rating, and the BIDA is suggesting just a couple of treatments that you can see here. Next. Just to recap the results that I think is that they are these points that are summarized in these slides are important for a discussion also in EuroRAP. Because in our opinion, the current protocols are somehow underestimates some features that are typical in Italian or European motorways, like for instance the containment level of safety barriers that are quite high and most of all they are different from other roads, or the use of specific asphalts that are with a very high performance. But of course, in these kind of roads like motorways or expressways, the speed is very important. The star rating is highly sensitive to speed, and this is why it is very difficult to increase star rating for motorcyclists on these kind of roads. Another aspect that is typical, I think, in other countries, like in Italy, but also in other countries in Europe, that is the relatively low number of fatalities. That means that some treatments are not cost effective, because to have, if we have few fatalities, of course we have injuries, but most of them are maybe are not serious, are minor injuries. So in terms of cost effectiveness, some treatments are not considered in VIDA. So maybe we have, I leave the last words to Lucia.
Next, please. Next slide. Yes, just to say that the project, we are planning now the dissemination and the sharing of the results with road authorities. That maybe a meeting will be held next week or the following week, so by the end of February. And by the end of March, we are planning also an article in our magazine, in our journal Onda Verde, and a workshop with the Association of Engineers, of Traffic Engineers. And for this year, the project will continue, and probably inspection will be, for inspections, we will move to Lombardia. So it means the region around Milan. And we are thinking to do that in agreement with the Automobile Club of Milan and the ANAS and the regional administrators. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Lucia. Thank you very much, Eduardo, for excellent presentation. We are very pleased. I don't know if there are any comments or someone would like to provide some. Yeah, Susie, please.
It's speed is such an important part of the EuroRAP model, because obviously speed and kinetic energy is so important in terms of your likely fatal and serious injury outcomes. You said in your presentation that you think that the star rating underestimates the safety of Italian motorways. Are you able to expand on that at all, Eduardo?
Well, we are making some tests also, because I think this is a quite important topic. Actually, there are some features in many European motorways, but especially in Italian motorways, that are quite specific. Like, for instance, EuroRAP protocols consider metallic guardrails like a unique attribute. So there is or there is not. Actually, the quality of the guardrails is quite different. So you can have an N1 class or up to H4, and of course they are not the same. Even well, there are other aspects like, for instance, the quality of the payment in the most of the Italian network is different. So maybe some research should be done on this.
One of the reasons I think that we have quite simplistic coding categories for guardrail is the potential to visually code the different types of guardrail. Are you able to visually determine from the pass-through video which sort of guardrail you have, or is that something you'd have to get from the road authority to tell you what kind of guardrail they have installed at a particular location?
Yes, it's not always easy to understand which is the the right class that is installed, but especially for motorways, I think that at least in Italy this is an information that we can collect.
Okay, that's great to know.
Also with the cooperation of the operators.
It'd be good to take forward some of these discussions, maybe in a meeting, and we can have a look at that, and perhaps also look at the evidence for the different effectiveness of the different types of guardrail that we're talking about, and for each different road user as well. It's important to unpack. Thank you very much for your presentation. Over to Ollie.
Thank you, Susie. Thanks for our Italian colleagues. I would now like to go to Marko Cheverovich from the University of Zagreb and Slaviša Babić from Croatian Roads. They would have a little bit different presentation of what's going on in Croatia. Marko, over to you. Thank you for joining.
Thank you, Ollie, and it's a great seminar. It's always good to see what is happening around Europe and how we are actually progressing with the going close to being able to compare infrastructure road safety over the countries. And that's why here with us today we have our colleague Slaviša Babić from the Croatian Roads from Croatia, who will be giving, I think, a road authority point of view on how EuroRAP can be utilized in their everyday work. As you know, in Croatia, the holder of the license is the Automobile Club, but with us, with the University of Zagreb, we were doing a lot of EuroRAP and EuroRAP studies before road authorities actually jumped in. And now the things are quite different, and I will let Slaviša explain a little bit about how the Croatian Road Authority actually utilizes EuroRAP.
Thank you, Marko. I will try to share my screen, my presentation. Can you see the presentation?
Yeah, it's coming. Yeah, we see it.
Okay. So as Marko said, the first EuroRAP was done by Croatian Automobile Club and Faculty of Traffic Sciences and Transportation from Zagreb, and also with the EuroRAP or EuroRAP, we have jumped in as the road authority. We are from Croatian Roads. We manage the state roads in Croatia, more than 7,300 kilometers of state roads. Also, Croatian Motorways are doing the EuroRAP. They are managing the motorways in Croatia, and also Ministry of Interior is involved within the process. So for the next slide, okay, can you see the next slide? Do you hear me?
Yep, we see the slide.
Okay, so we are doing numerous number of projects. These are, I would say, the main projects that we would like to emphasize and share here within the presentation with you. I would like to stress out that we are using EuroRAP not just for the roads that are already in the use, but we have done the EuroRAP on one section of the state road to use EuroRAP as the part of terms of reference for paper design. So we did it on the study where the road should go, what type of barrier should be used? Shall we have a pathway for pedestrians, bicycle paths, and so on, to have at least 3 stars for all road users? This was the part of terms of reference. Also, the Croatian roads were a strategic partner within the radar project together with the faculty. And we supported the SLANE project. What is interesting about the SLANE project is that the SLANE project was, we had EuroRAP on the TNT roads, and we used it for a proposal for countermeasures within the CEF call that was due to January 19th this year. And so our proposal for the EU fundings for the countermeasures was based on the EuroRAP. Also, we are using EuroRAP as, this is maybe probably for the next slide. We are using the EuroRAP protocols for our KPIs on how safe our roads are. So the EuroRAP is our main tool to see what is the risk level on our state roads, where and what should be done. And after a period, we are doing another measuring to see if we have done the right measures and do we have those KPIs in the positive way, or are we doing something good or wrong? Yes. And this means not only for drivers and car passengers, but also for other road users. Also, it is in alignment with the new or revised directive on road safety, on road safety from 2019, since the road safety directive says that we have to have at least 3 levels of risk, and within the EuroRAP we have 5 stars, 5 levels of risk, and we can, as I said, track all the performance that we are doing. Just for the end, maybe Marco, should you? This is the project that Marco was that Marco showed the best of EuroRAP, and where we also used EuroRAP with road safety assessment, actually road safety inspection, and this is the DC8 on the Vodice. Can you, Marco, please take on?
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you, Slaviša. This is one of the roads that was done according to all of the standards in Croatia. It was funded by EU funds, and everything was done as it should be, it should have been. And what happened here, that in the first 30 days of operation, we had, I believe, 5 fatalities, if not 6. Slaviša, you can correct me if I'm mistaken. 5 fatalities, yes. So what? So we were invited in a way to try to do the EuroRAP assessment and see what can be done here. So Slaviša, if you click next, we should get the current star rating. So you can see here the current star rating of this road was 2 stars. And it was also 2 stars for the motorcycles, but all of the accidents we had there were actually accidents with vehicles. There was a head-on crash, there was a run-off crash, and the intersection crash, and different types of crashes were happening on this road. And if you look at the next slide, this is the same section of the road. What you can see here is that based on the EuroRAP analysis, we were trying to get to 3 stars with the same operating speed. So we did not consider the possibility that something can be done with the reduction of the speed only. We also wanted to introduce some countermeasures. So the EuroRAP suggested here a wide center line. So we did a duplicate center line, basically. We also added rumble strips, the EuroRAP countermeasure, as you can see on the right-hand side, and also installed a guardrail. Due to the very low volumes of motorcycles here, motorcycle-friendly guardrail was not suggested, so we did not install it here. And if we move to the EuroRAP star rating, we can see now that the road actually shifted from middle 2 stars to basically high 3 stars. And couple of years later, I think it's already been 3 or 4 years after that, the fatalities reduced by 90%. We only had one fatal accident, and it happened on the intersection because one of the drivers went through the red light. But on the sections where free flow sections like this one, we basically removed fatal and serious injuries and accidents. And I think that would be all for us. So we are waiting for your questions.
Yes, thank you.
Thank you, Slaviša and Marko. Excellent presentation. A lot of things have been done. In Croatia, we wouldn't expect anything less, given the involvement and your really commitment to road safety. I hope now all our participants can wake up a little bit. We have a pool for you prepared to, you will see, it will pop up on your screen. We are planning to hold this year's General Assembly in May with physical presence. The question is, do you expect to be able to attend in person? So you can either choose no or yes. We can give a couple of seconds, maybe 30 seconds more for everyone to respond.
We're quite evenly matched, which suggests to me, Ollie, that we may be looking at a hybrid event.
That's probably one of, yeah, if that's possible.
Yeah, I just wanted to add that as panelists, we cannot vote, so I guess it will be more in favor of meeting.
We cannot vote, you know.
Okay, but what would you vote?
Oh, yes.
Yes, okay.
Yes.
So, yes. Okay, so in person. More
count me in person.
Okay, we'll add we'll add more 12 more to in person.
Excellent. Thank you so much for your input there. That's really helpful.
Yes, for
great.
me.
So yeah, it means we are a little bit above 50% for yes, in-person meeting, if you take into account all the presenters. So
excellent.
Suzy,
thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Shall we end the poll now and change a little bit our agenda and go now to Bosnia and Herzegovina, to our dear colleague Silma Sultanic?
Thank you. Yeah, I'm here.
Great. The floor is yours.
Thank you, Ollie. Hello, everyone. I'm very glad to be here with you all to see these great presentations and projects. For first thing I would say, this is my first presentation as a panelist, so wish me luck. I'm a little bit nervous. I will share my screen. Is that okay? Because it would be easier for me.
That's fine. You can take over, Silma, and share your screen. No problem at all.
Okay, thank you. I hope you see it.
Yeah, if you can go to the presenters mode, that would be even better. To the full presentation. Yes, that one, or F5.
Okay. Sorry, this is the nervous from me. But so I will begin. My name is Silma, and I work in Bosnia and Herzegovina Automobile Club Road Safety Department. I will tell you about the project that was in Bosnia and Herzegovina in 2020. This was the project that was from pilot action was a part of a big project radar. I hope Ollie and Marko are my colleagues from that project, and we are very proud of that. So as I said, as a part of radar, this pilot project was realized, and a survey of 2,030 kilometers of roads was made in 2020 for the analysis of road performance section of the main roads M18 and M4 were selected. In the observation period, a total of 32 people died, and 120 of them were seriously injured. These are the roads, Sarajevo, Tuzla, Priboj, and Doboj, Caparde. Based on the data on actual accidents and traffic flow, the risk mapping. The risk map provides an objective view of the places on the road network where people die or are injured and where their risk of collision is highest. As I said, the covered period is 2016 to 2018. These are the results for that two sections. Only 4% of roads received 4 stars for passenger safety. 76% of the network received 3 stars, while 20% of roads received only 1 star or 2 stars. And the situation is even worse for the vulnerable users. Motorcycles 44%, bicycles 67%, and pedestrians 78%. These are the star rating for vehicle occupants, pedestrian, cyclists, and motorcyclists, where we can see that the most of the roads have 1, 2, or 3 stars for safety. For these sections, it was made the investment plan if certain current measures were applied to the observed road network to increase road safety of total of 70 offered. Then in the analyzed period of 20 years, the number of killed and seriously injured road users in traffic accidents would be reduced by 2,008 people, while the total cost of all proposed measures was about 50 million marks, or 25 million euros. You can see on the slide the five most effective and cost-effective measures that could help save the most lives. And if we apply the countermeasures, this is the results that we get. The implementation of the investment plan would significantly improve the safety of the road network. 4-star roads would be present in 30% of the network. The observed road network would have at least 3 stars. The impact of the strip on these user groups would be relatively smaller than on the occupants of the vehicle. Also, detailed short-term, medium-term, and long-term plans have been prepared for the selected 2 section. This is the very short presentation about that pilot project that we had as I said, in 2020. Just to mention, BIHAMK in 2012 had a sensor project where we did a road survey for 360 kilometers, and after that we had a risk mapping for over 2,000 kilometers. I would just say that the situation is generally Bosnia and Herzegovina really hard, that the reasons are the structure and the situation in the country, the blocked work of state institutions that we need for all activities, but all our projects presented to road authorities, and we hope that they will use it in the best way. Just to mention, maybe BIHAMK, Bosnia and Herzegovina is currently working on a national strategy. BIHAMK is part of it, and we will try to put EuroRAP into this strategy. That will be all from me today.
Thank you very much, Silma.
Thank you.
Great presentation.
I hope it was great, because this is, as I said, my first time as a panelist. And you all have a long-term experience, so I hope it went good.
It was great, and we will invite you to chair one of our sessions. You were such a good presenter. Thank you so much. A lot of great things in Bosnia and Herzegovina. Thank you for keeping good work. And we are looking forward for new developments. I really recognize your commitment through the projects we work together, but also all the difficulties you are facing in your country, and hopefully everything will be solved sooner rather than later, and you will be able to focus on real work and some great implementation, which I know you have also done in the past. Thank you so much. And now I would suggest that we go to Serbia, a neighbor to Bosnia and Herzegovina, and Violeta Maksimovic. We are very pleased to see Violeta back, representing AMSS, Automobile Club of Serbia. Violeta, the floor is yours.
Okay, thank you. But I will first have to share the screen because I have a small presentation. Just let me find my presentation. It seems that I have a problem finding. No, I'm here. Sorry. It is coming. Thank you for your attention and your time. So I'm going to tell you about the recent developments in Serbia in terms of road safety and what it is going on here. So, sorry.
Violeta, we are not seeing your presentation as yet.
Do you see it now?
We see the screen, but we don't see the presentation. At least I'm not seeing it.
Okay, but it should be here.
Maybe if you have two screens to drag your on the screen where you have your desktop and the folder Explorer.
Well.
But even if you want, we have if you can send us your presentation later on, and you can take 5 minutes to.
Okay, I will send you the presentation. But what I wanted to share with you is that in Serbia there have been established legal, institutional, strategic framework for improving road safety. We have a lot of, based on the EU directives on road safety infrastructure management, we have, our government actually has passed many documents, and these documents are dealing with the mandatory use of almost all of the road safety infrastructure improvement tools that need to be applied in order to improve road safety in Serbia. You already know what CMV has been doing so far, and the latest development includes a huge road safety project which is funded by the EU and which is still which started in August 2019 and which is still ongoing because the EU and all other beneficiaries and stakeholders recognize the importance of improving road safety in Serbia, both at the national and local level. This huge project has 3 components, and they are focused on improving road safety management at national and local level, also on improving road infrastructure safety management at national and local level. And the third component will include the introduction of the MICE 3+ road accident injury scale. So we are going to have this scale for the purpose of the Ministry of Health, who is also one of the beneficiaries. What is important to say about in terms of road assessment program is that last year within this EU-funded project there was a road assessment program which included 3.9 thousand kilometers inspected in Serbia according to criteria for the selection of this road network. And what has been done is risk mapping which is actually done on the basis of road accident data. Star rating was performed on the basis of road assessment of road characteristics on the selected network. And by using these two methods, there have been identified 10 sections of highest risk that will be subject to road safety inspection as a separate activity within this project. And as you know, this road safety inspection is another tool which is today mandatory in Serbia, as well as road safety audit, road safety impact assessment, independent analysis of road contribution to the occurrence of road accidents and things like that. Another result of this project is a local road safety database that has been already established in 60 local communities in Serbia, cities or municipalities. And if you want to have successful road safety management, you have to base it on data. So these local self-governments will be able to just click and to set some parameters and have a complete, a very wide picture of the state of their road safety situation. And this database has 6 modules, and one of the modules even includes some EuroRAP indicators and parameters such as pedestrians crossing, sidewalks, speed limits, and etc. And I would like to just stress the importance of the CMV in this road safety improvements, because apart from the road safety department and Nicola, who is working well, and you know that there is a research and development center within AMSS with a lot of road safety experts and specialists, licensed road safety inspectors and auditors, and who are also contributing to improving road safety in Serbia by taking care of different kinds of programs and initiatives. So it's been a very successful season. So we managed to reduce the number of fatalities. Last year we had 492 fatalities, which is far better than we used to have, and we are still progressing, going on, and that would be all. And thank you for your attention.
Thank you very much, Violetta. I'm going to jump in and go straight to my presentation from the UK. I'm conscious that for some people you'll have to leave now because we've gone through our hour. But thank you very much for joining us, and we understand if you need to leave. Just to let you know that the next one of these will be on the 8th of March, and it'll be a RAP Basics star rating webinar. So do join us for that if you have to go before the end of this session. So I'm going to try and do the technology screen share. So bear with me. I think I've got it on there now. So I just find my notes. Excellent. So the UK EuroRAP programme. I just wanted to introduce the Road Safety Foundation. So we're a UK charity. We're a founding partner of EuroRAP and licence holder for road assessment programmes in the UK and Ireland. We've been doing risk mapping, crash risk mapping annually since 2002. And we also have an extensive star rating programme with national and local road authorities. We do other bits and bobs as well. But one thing I wanted to mention was that we've just established the UK EuroRAP Road Authority User Group now, where we have 15 road authorities all collaborating with their EuroRAP projects, which is really an excellent development here in the UK. The first of our EuroRAP webinars was all about crash risk mapping and performance tracking. And I think this will be familiar to some people that were at the first one. So apologies for any going over old ground, but our latest report, which was Building Back Safer, Making Roads Fit for 2030, was published last July. It's on our website if you want to have a look at it and see the sort of work that we've been doing here in the UK. One thing that's probably a little bit different is that we've got a lovely GIS tool that we've developed to allow people to be able to access the crash risk mapping data. You can zoom in and pan around as you might expect with a mapping tool, and you can even see the location of fatal and serious crashes as you zoom in. Because we've got lots of detail in our database about crash risk mapping, like rurality and urban and so on and so forth, we can do lots of comparisons of performance and come up with lots of metrics that are really useful for road authorities. So we've probably changed our emphasis over the last sort of 10 years or so from being an organisation that speaks up about the danger on our roads to working very closely with road authorities who are aiming to also reduce risk on our roads as well. If anybody wants to see this tool, you can access it from our website again at roadsafetyfoundation.org. And if you would like to get in touch and we can demonstrate it to you properly if you'd like. Oh, going again. The most important part of the work that we do with our crash risk mapping is about scoping the investment opportunity. So in the last couple of years, we've been looking at identifying the 10% of our British road network where we think that the best investment might lie. So we've scoped a 1.4 billion investment that we think would prevent 11,000 fatal and serious injuries over a 20-year period with a benefit cost ratio of 3.7. So we're trying to do this in order to then drive the sort of investment decisions at the very sort of highest government level to support people like Department for Transport here in the UK and the national road authorities to say, actually, there's this opportunity for investment and this is the kind of return that you'll get. And it kind of helps them to be able to make that case right up to the senior levels at Treasury level in our country. So our EuroRAP programme, so the proactive star rating methodology, is quite active as well. So National Highways in England have undertaken surveys every 5 years since 2010, and we're about to see the publication of the 2020 surveys, which I'll be able to share with you when they're released. Coupled with that release of results, this spring we have a very extensive training exercise that we're going to be undertaking in partnership with National Highways, and also coupled with, very importantly, some policy and guides for implementation. So the idea is that National Highways would like to embed the use of the data, the EuroRAP data, throughout the whole organisation to maximise the sort of returns from what is quite a significant investment in collecting all of the data. The training will be focused on helping analysts with understanding the data so they can use it in their strategic approach to investment and prioritisation, using EuroRAP tools to determine the impact of different treatment options for routes, and also star rating for designs. We're also working with Welsh Government as well, which is a new project where TRL are undertaking the project and we're acting as an advisor to Welsh Government. And here the pilot study was completed last year and they're about to survey their entire strategic road network, which is a great development. Our local authority programme really sort of sprung into action with the Safer Roads Fund, which was a £100 million investment in the 50 highest risk local authority A roads in England. For this, we sort of really found that there was an opportunity to use the EuroRAP data in a slightly different way, which I'll go into in a moment. We're also undertaking major road network surveys, which is the sort of highest priority roads that local authorities run, so the sort of highest flow local authority roads that connect towns and so on. And we also apply the approach at the individual route level as well. And to support this, we've been developing the user-defined investment plan capabilities here in the UK, where basically we see the SRIP, the Safer Roads Investment Plan, that some of the presenters have mentioned as a starting point. And there's the opportunity then to refine the SRIP with local knowledge and expertise, with practitioners who are knowledgeable about their own road network, to model feasible and practical treatments that fit within their budgets. So as part of the Safer Roads Fund, we developed a sort of very low-tech spreadsheet approach to capture the treatments that the road authorities wanted to make to their individual route. And we were then able to process that back through the EuroRAP model to say what the user-defined investment plan was likely to prevent in terms of fatal and serious injuries, which then fed into the business case for the Safer Roads Fund. What we've done now, though, is take that to the next level, and this is a bit of a glimpse into the future. So what you can see on the screen here is a route review tool, which is under development and hopefully soon to be piloted in the UK. At the route level that you can see on the screen, we have the map of the route, which is good. We have the Safer Roads investment plan for that route. We have the speed profile for that route, which we find really useful in terms of developing the strategic approach for a particular route. So here you'll be able to see the speed limit, the operating speed, and mean speed and 85th. And then on the right here, you can see a fatal and serious injury worm, a bit like the risk worm in VIDA, for those who are familiar with the system. So this gives you an idea about how risk is changing as you move along the route. Then if you drill down at the individual 100-meter level, you can see the coding, you can see a video, the image of the road, and you can also see the countermeasures that are recommended by the model, and you can switch these on and switch them off. You'll then be able to hit process, and then the results of the user-defined investment plan will then be provided to you. So basically supports that process of going through what the SRIP is recommending and then turning that into something that the practitioners, the road authority on the ground actually wants to implement, and gives you that high-level investment information back again. So number of fatal and serious injuries saved, and benefits and costs and BCRs. So we think this is really important because it puts the power back in the hands of the road authority, being able to work through the recommendations, be inspired by the safe system, but then actually be able to use their local knowledge and tailor the SRIP for their own purposes. And we'll be able to share that with you as things progress and as we pilot it here in the UK. So that's all from me on this one. I was going to talk as well at this webinar about Malta and Romania. I'm just going to try and stop sharing my screen. Where are the controls? Stop share. We might cover that in more detail in a further seminar, but just to say that there are a couple of EIB funded projects in Romania and Malta which are going really well. It's kind of allowing the teams there to take a more proactive approach rather than working just on the basis of black spots and hotspots with historical crash data. And I think we'll bring in the project team to be able to talk about that at a future webinar. Hope that's okay. That's all from me. Ollie, are you there?
Yeah, I am. Thanks, Susie. It seems that your presentation attracted a lot of interest because no one has left, almost no one has left from this extra time. Some really good things to discuss probably at Innovation Workshop as well, once the tool is ready. We're very much looking forward to. I would like to thank everyone, all presenters and all those who attended for being present today with us and sharing your nice stories. Next, as you said, Susie, next EuroRAP Basic Star Rating webinar will be organized on 8th March, International Women's Day. We hope to see you there, and thank you very much. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye-bye, everybody.
Bye, everybody. Bye-bye.